Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're just going to do another Velocity Banking review. And we're also going to imagine that we're Batman. How cool would it be to pay off debt and be the richest person in Gotham, right? And so I asked ChatGPT here, how would Batman do Velocity Banking? Let's go ahead and play the answer. So we'll do that right here.
Um, if Batman were to use velocity banking, he'd approach it with the same precision and strategy he applies to fighting crime. Here's how he might do it. 1. Analyze the situation, detective work. Batman would start by analyzing his financials as thoroughly as he analyzes Gotham's crime patterns. Income. Bruce Wayne's vast earnings from Wayne Enterprises give him significant cash flow. Expenses. As Batman, he'd keep track of costs like Batmobiles, gadgets, and Batcave maintenance, cutting unnecessary expenses like another Batboat. Debts. He'd identify liabilities like Wayne Manor's mortgage if he had one, and prioritise high interest ones. 2. Establish the tools, gadgets, HELOC. Batman would secure a high limit home equity line of credit, HELOC, using Wayne Manor as collateral. Cash flow account. He'd use his strategic mindset to funnel all income through the HELOC, maximizing interest offset. He'd use them wisely, leveraging rewards and paying them off monthly via the HELOC to avoid interest charges. Hamsh 3. Plan the attack strategy. Batman would treat velocity banking like a mission. 1. Focus on high interest debt. He'd direct surplus cash to pay it down quickly. 2. Balance cash flow needs. Keep enough liquidity in the HELOC for emergencies like the Joker blowing up another bridge. 3. Leverage compounding. By cycling money through the HELOC, he reduces his overall interest burden. 4. Execute with precision. Discipline. Like his rigid training regimen, he'd stick to the plan, ensuring every dollar works efficiently. Optimization. He'd tweak the strategy over time, analyzing data to improve outcomes, just as he adapts his approach when battling villains. 5. Build the Bat Financial Fortress. Once debts are eliminated, Batman would use freed up cash flow to reinvest in Wayne Enterprises or other ventures, ensuring his wealth grows even while saving Gotham. In true Batman fashion, he'd also keep his financial strategies secret, ensuring no one, especially villains, gets an advantage. But you can bet Alfred would handle the paperwork.
All right, so man, I'm excited because I'm just gonna imagine that I'm a billionaire right now and I have a lot of debt, but I can easily pay it off using this thing called velocity banking, right? So we're not responsible Batman, we're irresponsible, right? Irresponsible Bruce Wayne because we got negative $63 in savings. So what I did, okay, so what I decided to do for this situation is I just kind of copied a previous situation and it added two extra zeros. So I don't know if this is actually what Batman makes, right? Like two extra zeros right here, and then everywhere else, two extra zeros. And we have $14.2 million credit card debt, which is insane. And we're going to assume that we have a $17 million home equity line of credit. Wayne Manor is probably worth a lot more than that, right? I don't think 17 million is actually that much in home equity. But let's just imagine that pretend that this is I don't know, Batman scenario. Maybe this is like year one Batman where he's not like he's really rich, but he's not like super billionaire rich, right? So let's just get started. What is velocity banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy using your line of credit as your main operating account. Okay, so what's a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again. So if you have a credit card, that is a line of credit, although it's not as flexible as your home equity or personal line of credit. And then as you can see here, somewhere in the explanation, they talk about having a securing a high limit home equity line of credit using the Wayne Manor as collateral. Okay, so if you offer your home equity as collateral, the bank will allow you to use a line of credit, right? With lower interest rates usually and higher limits. Okay, and I have my own home equity line of credit right here for $280,000, right? But it's nothing compared to Batman. So when I compare myself to Batman, which I shouldn't, I'm a little bit ashamed because this itty bitty $280 home equity line of credit doesn't compare to the $17 million home equity line of credit that someone, and I don't even think that Wayne Manor would probably, Wayne Manor would probably have a lot more than $17 million in a home equity line of credit, right? a lot more. But I, as a normal human being who's not Batman, but wants to play pretend Batman, only has a $280,000 home equity line of credit. Isn't that crazy? So this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna pretend that we're Batman. I don't know if this is his actual monthly income. That'd be insane. What if I got $860,000 a month, and I were irresponsible because I had all this credit card debt. And how much credit card debt do I have? $4.2 million. Got to somehow finance the Batcave and Batmobile, right? And you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, okay, now that I think about it, like, does Bruce Wayne, Batman, even own? Does he own the Bank of Gotham? That would be crazy, right? If he did, okay. So this is what we're gonna do, and let's go ahead and set up our velocity banking spreadsheet. And we just got to do two things, right? We just need a budget, right? A budget, and we also need a line of credit as our main operating account. And we're gonna assume we have a $17 million home equity line of credit. So before we get started, I just want to make sure that this mortgage is set up correctly. So I'm just gonna take a look at this loan calculator that I got here. So we're just gonna make it really simple, and so this is gonna be 300 0 30,000 K at 3%. And I just want to make sure that the monthly payment that I get for this is correct. 300 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, at 3%. Is it? Let's see what we get here. So the payment amount is about should be $126,000 a month. 126481. Is that right? Yeah, let me make it a little bit more accurate to the penny. So this would be 0.21. 0.21. Okay, gotcha. All right, awesome. And then we have general expenses of $200,000 a month. Holy balls, right? All right. All right, so let's go ahead and do this, and this is just going to be a very simple demonstration. So right now, as irresponsible Bruce Wayne, we have too much debt, and maybe because we don't know how banking works, and we don't own the Bank of Gotham, we don't understand the concept of the principle of segregation of income. So what is segregation of income? Your income comes into your checking account, and it gets split into many different ways, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different, actually 11 different ways because it's 11 different debts. And because you're making essentially minimum payments on all of your debt, it's not as effective as if it's in one place. And believe it or not, Bruce Wayne here has got a negative savings account and is gonna, what's gonna happen? We're gonna get an overdraft fee. So yes, that's definitely no good. So we got to think a little, use our bat detective, be the world's greatest detective, right? That's what Batman supposedly is, and figure out how to get out of this hole because this is year one Batman, right? We're not in year 20 or year 30 where we know what it is that we're doing with our finances. And all right, so luckily, we have a $17 million home equity line of credit, right? So what are we going to do with that? Well, we're going to assume we have the same monthly income, but instead of having negative savings, we're going to have zero savings. Why? It's because we're we're going to dump all of our income into the line of credit, right? So no matter what happens, as soon as we get paid, it all goes to the line of credit. And then after our expenses, so let me go ahead and copy our expenses. We're going to have something called cash flow, which is just income minus expenses, yeah, right? And you might be like, whoa, this is the same number as savings, right? But the idea is that you're going to dump all of your income into the line of credit once we've moved some debt into the line of credit. And once we've done that, this should be a positive cash flow. So after summing up all this credit card debt, I think it's $14.2 million. So let's go ahead and put in $14.2 million. Is that 14 point? Yeah, $14.2 million. And so guess what happens when we move that $14.2 million debt? Well, this all goes to zero, right? All the credit cards go to zero, right? So it's really simple, really easy. So this just now goes to zero, 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 and now we're rocking, right? So we literally went from a negative $63 savings to 5,340 5,003 I can't even say this $534,000 of cash flow. How crazy is that? This is now we feel like a financial superhero. I cannot believe it. And then the last step is you put your entire paycheck into that line of credit and then you take your expenses out. And so after every single month, we're going to pay down our $14 million debt by about $500,000. How crazy is that? Right? How crazy is that? And so we're going to go ahead and do that. And so we're just going to do this. And to get the next month's balance, it's the previous month's balance plus the previous month's interest minus whatever our cash flow is. And our cash flow right here is 534. Oh, geez, somebody is calling me. You see my new phone? It's crazy. All right, so sorry about that interruption. But, all right, so let me go ahead and resume what I was talking about, which is my Bruce Wayne cash flow, which is 5,340 $534,000 and 519 cents and 44, or not dollars, 44 cents. And then what we're going to do is calculate the interest. And so let's go ahead and calculate the interest by getting the average daily balance. Let's take the average right here and then multiply it by the interest rate. So it's like 8%. Okay. And then you divide by 12 and that's it. So we got to pay about 100 grand of interest on this, or a little bit more than 90 grand on this $14 million of debt. And let's see how fast it takes us to pay it off. And we can see, whoa, that's pretty good, right? So about $500,000 every single month. And so now we feel like a financial superhero. Now we can say, I am Batman. No, I'm just kidding. But although my favorite games in PC is actually the Batman Arkham games. I think they're some of the best games that have come out in like the past 20 years. And I know almost everything about the Batman Arkham games, I think. But you can see that as Batman, it took us 30 months to pay $14.2 million of debt. Whoa, that was so easy. All right, 30 months. So 30 months, 14.2 million, right? That was so easy. Goodness, like that. All right. So now we have a $300,000. No, not a $300,000. How much is this? Let me go calculate this. This is a $30 million mortgage. $30 million mortgage. Okay, if you have a $30 million mortgage, would 17 million in equity be realistic? Yeah, I think it might be. It might be. I don't know. Maybe he bought it at a discount, right? But we have a $30 million mortgage and we got to pay that sucker off. Okay? And why do we have to pay that sucker off even at a 3% interest rate? Because if we go to full term, let's say 360 months, look at the total interest we pay, right? 15 million with a 30-year mortgage. So I know this 3% looks cheap, but it's not as cheap as you think it is. And if you kind of do like interest rates right now, like 6 and 7, let's do 7, right? 41 million? So 30 million, and now we got to pay 41 million in interest. Okay? And if you do like 8%, 49 million, 9%, 56 million, right? It's insane how many more millions, or maybe we didn't feel it, like, oh, 8%, it's all right. So just go with 3, 15 million, right? So we're maybe this is chump change for Bruce Wayne, but it's okay. If I have to pay 15 million more than I need to, I wouldn't do it, right? I don't know about you. So this is why we gotta pay off the mortgage quickly, and let's just figure out what month we're in. So we're in month 30, and what's the current balance? It's about 28 million. So we paid, how much did we pay in principal? So in 30 months, okay, 30 months, we paid about $2 million of principal. You see that? 30 million is the original balance, and then 28 million is the current balance. So 2 million in principal, which is the actual loan balance, right? And we paid about 2 million in interest. So let's figure out how long it takes us to chunk 2 million when we put in the line of credit, right? So what does that mean? We just kind of simply move some of the principal into the line of credit. So I'll just do 2 million right here plus 2,000,000,000. Okay. How long does it take for that 2 million to go away? Holy moly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 months. Wow, that was so easy. So if you take a look here, we basically chipped away 2 million about 4 months using the chunking strategy and all. And what's really important, okay, about this is that you don't do this first because I'm not going to go over the cash flow index today. Just going to make it really simple. But you only get 126,000. I know I'm saying like only 126,000, but you only get $126,000 of cash flow for paying off $30 million of debt, right? So it's not that much, but at the same time, understand that the inverse of cash flow is paying a lot of interest, which is why at the end of the term, for a 30-year mortgage, you even though it's 3%, you pay about 50% of interest, which is the 15 million uh, of that we just saw, like right. So, and we're just going to rinse and repeat over and over again, right? So this is with the chunking method. I do this, and hold on, did I do this right? Yeah, we'll just do another 2 million. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in about 4 months, right? Why is this paying off so quickly? That's crazy. All right, so now we just do it again, and then so it seems like about every 4 months, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, we pay it off. Oh my goodness, that's so easy. So paying off and we just rinse and repeat over and over again, right? Rinse and repeat over and over again, and then we just pay off the mortgage. So let's go ahead and do that. Bring out the velocity banking calculator. Give me one moment. There we go. There we go. We have our velocity banking calculator. Putting in our numbers is Bruce Wayne, right? So we're just going to do a $1 million chunk. And you can see here, it only takes us 3.9 years to pay it off, right? Now, I know some of you are thinking, like, and here's the thing, Bruce Wayne might have heard this on the internet, you should get a first lien HELOC. And it doesn't matter what the interest rate is because loan bad, line of credit good. And I'm going to show you this, okay? So what happens if we do a full replacement of our mortgage, of this $28 million mortgage with the line of credit? We pay $5 million of interest and 4.3 years rather than 1.7 million. Now, I know it's only just a couple million for Bruce Wayne, and maybe he wants to be generous and give that much to the bank, but you don't have to do a first lien HELOC like a lot of people promote on the internet. That's all I'm saying, right? So let's go ahead and 3.9 years. Wow, paid that off really quickly. And you might be wondering, where did I get this calculator? I got it from Renata. So if you're interested in not only learning about velocity banking, but also about financial literacy and real estate investing, click the Google form link below, right? So I'm here to kind of recruit students, recruit people into my cult. Just kidding, wink, wink. Um, into learning about financial literacy, right? That's why I promote in Ross because it's where I originally learned velocity banking from. And I, as an independent contractor marketer, just kind of promote over and over again. And if you're interested in learning, go ahead and click the Google form link below. I probably need to sell an educational package to Bruce Wayne. So let me just do this right here, 3.9 years, okay? So now I just go here, back here, and then this is going to be 0. And what's the final payoff date? It's 30 divided by 12 plus 3.9. And so now, 6.4 years, we are completely debt free. And so what's the total amount? It's 14.2 plus 30, which is going to mean that it's 44.2 million debt free, right? Wow, that was pretty easy. 6.4 years, Bruce Wayne, Batman, right? Bruce Wayne. I don't know if it's possible to have $200,000 in general expenses, but maybe he does. I don't know. I remember once upon a time I met a lawyer, and the only debt she had was a mortgage, and she was doing like real estate law in like New York, and I asked her how much you make a month, and she's like, "Oh, 50 grand a month." 50 grand a month, and she bought like $1 million condo in Miami, and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." Okay, all right, well, that's it for today. So I'm imagining that this is how velocity banking would be for Batman, making all this money. And if you're doing, even Batman can do things wrong once in a while, right? As the average American segregating our income. But when we do velocity banking, look at all that sweet, sweet cash flow. Sweet, sweet cash flow. My goodness. And that's when we're going to start to have savings, right? That's when we're going to have savings once our debt is paid off. Okay. Well, that's it for today. Have a great day, everybody. This is Crane Atlanta Mentorship.